Hey there everybody, it's Professor Drumkid here, and I'm going to be talking to you about quarries. Quarries were introduced in Buildcraft, the Buildcraft mod. That is part of the Feed the Beast mod pack, but you can also have it separately. Right there, that's what we're going to be talking about today. There we are, beautiful. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to craft it, how to place it, what to do with it, and how to power it. First things first, we need to craft it. Here are all of the materials you will need to craft it. 28 iron, 16 gold ingots, 11 diamond, 34 sticks, 28 cobble, 1 redstone, and 4 lapis lazuli. Now, the lapis are actually going to be used for after we set up the quarry, or after we've crafted it. Sorry, my bad. So let's take all of this beautiful, beautiful things, and let's start. So we're going to need, I believe it's 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yes. Yes. Right? Right. 7 wooden gears. And the way gears work, they're using a lot of different crafting recipes, but you have to start with the base wood gear, and then you can make it better and better and better by adding materials around it, just like you're crafting a gear. So we're going to do 7. Boom. So we got 7 stone gears, and then we need to make 7 iron gears. There we go. 7 of those, and 3 of those we're going to need, but the rest we can upgrade to gold. Now 2 of those we're going to need. Boom. And then we need 2 diamond, because if we pull up the crafting recipe, it is right there. So we got our 3 iron gears, our 2 gold gears, and 2 diamond gears. Now we will need a diamond pick and a piece of redstone, which we also have the materials for right here. Now the diamond pick cannot be used, it cannot be enchanted, it just has to be a plain old brand spanking new diamond pick. So let's put all of these into the crafting bench as they are supposed to be, and boom! Quarry. So, you got all the materials, you got everything you needed, now you have this quarry. What the hell do you do? What in God's name are you supposed to do with this thing? Well, let's talk about it. First, you're going to need to pick a plot. Now, quarries, they will mine a square or rectangle, just depending on whatever shape you want to make it. It will mine it out all the way down to bedrock. Now, the only blocks it won't mine are bedrock, and it can be stopped by lava. It will mine through water, but not lava. Lava will actually stop it dead in its tracks. So I'll show you guys a method for dealing with that, actually, once we get started. So first things first is to pick a nice area. I went ahead and cleared this out of all grass and all that kind of stuff. You can actually do it underground if you want. You just have to tunnel out the initial area, and it'll fix the rest for you. But I've just got a nice little 10 by 10. It's a nice little, it's a small area. The smallest it can make is, I believe, let's plop it down. Yeah, it'll default at 9 by 9, I believe is what that is. Correct me if I'm wrong. It actually... Oh, sorry, it'll default at 11 by 11, but it builds a framework around here, and so it makes it a 9 by 9, because the actual quarry will be within the boundaries. So let's get rid of that. So the one we do want is this 10 by 10, and then it'll mine inside of it. So it'll technically be an 8 by 8, I believe, at that point. So it'll be a little bit smaller than the default size. And you can make it bigger or smaller. The largest you can go is 64 blocks, so it would, in effect, be a 62 by 62, with the outer border being for the structure, for the frame. So that's where all of these things come in handy. I actually won't need those sticks. You need redstone torches, and you put lapis on top of them, and it makes landmarks. Now you look at this and you go, what in the hell do I do with this weird looking thing? Well, plop it on down. So if you go and you put them down, you can actually right click them, and it'll shoot laser beams. No, it'll connect to any of them that you have in line with each other. So let's say we do one here, and let's right click that. See, it's connected to that one. And let's go put one right here. When I right click this, it should connect to both of those. No? Yes, no, maybe so? Oh, I know the problem. I know the problem. I do believe you're supposed to have all 4 of them in place before you click them. Boop. Yep, like that. Beautiful. Look how great that is. So let's actually get a piece of stone, and we're going to put our quarry right there. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you a nice little method. Let's get rid of these. Okay. Oh, great. It's doing this thing. Well, here's glitch number 1. Once it's all set up and everything, if you get rid of the landmarks, it can sometimes stay. So we're actually gonna make a different one over here, and we'll just do a ground level. I'm not sure about the dimensions on this. I am just eyeballing for true. Boom. So for some of the bigger quarries, it can get kind of hard to eyeball it. So I'll show you a little trick. If you take a redstone torch and put it next to it, it'll show you all of the vectors of that placed item. So pretty nifty. Now something else to take into account when you choose your location is what chunks it is in. The quarry will be occupying, because the quarry will actually keep all of the chunks within its boundaries loaded at all times. Kind of an interesting thing. There are items called like chunk loaders and stuff like that that you can build, but a quarry will do it in and of its own volition. Now, I believe they just updated this so that F9, yes, if we hit F9 twice, it will show us where all of our chunks are. So if we build it right here, it will only keep this chunk loaded. So a potential upside to possibly moving this slightly, let's say, oh shoot, let's say we put it here, and there, and let's put the rest here. Get rid of that one. So we're going to move it so that it's occupying multiple chunks, so we'll keep more loaded. And the benefit of this is that it gives you more space around the outside of your quarry to place things to power it. Because if you have, like, let's say you're way off somewhere, boom. Yeah, let's say you're way off somewhere and you want your quarry running, but your power for it is in a chunk that is not loaded, or part of it is not loaded, it won't load it, and so it won't power the quarry, and the quarry will stop, and it kind of defeats the purpose. So that's something to definitely take into consideration. I'm not sure when I think this was just the most recent Feed the Beast update they did this in. It's very handy though. So let's do the redstone thing again. Let's make sure we have it all in the correct place. Okay, that's looking good. And so is that. Beautiful. Now, let's get rid of those, and then let's right-click them and set up that nice-looking laser beam we all love. And right-click. Look at that. Sheep, you are just all sorts of in the way, aren't you? Now, we're going to place the quarry block. Let's do it. Let's put it right here. Why not, right? What? There we go. Huh. That was kind of strange. That was a little bizarre. But at this time you can actually take these down and reuse them if you so desire. Now that's built this actual framework. That was kind of weird. I wonder if it's got something to do with that being kind of glitched out, that it didn't want to accept it at first. But once you power the quarry now, it will start constructing the framework, which goes on all the blocks that this occupies. You'll see it once it starts building it, and it was kind of built straight down from it'll be Okay, sheep. I need you to not be there. And cool. So that's the framework for the quarry. That is what it will be mining straight down. So now we have it all set up. We have our location. It is ready to receive power. This is the part where it's pretty much entirely up to you. It does run off Minecraft joules, so MJ as opposed to EU. My favorite way to power these guys is solar panels. Solar panels are my favorite power source, period. So that's why I'm going to be setting it up with today. I'm going to have several low voltage solar arrays set up, and let's do, because this is a little more realistic as to, let's do 3 of them. That's pretty realistic as to what you might be able to do initially. That's pretty resource intensive to have 3 of these LV solar arrays, but it's semi-realistic. We'll need some electric engines, some conductive wooden piping, as well as some stone conductive piping. What else are we going to need? We'll need a couple levers. And we'll need the wire slash... actually, we'll get into that later, but we'll need the wires. Let's use... I don't want to use HV because that loses power pretty damn quick. I'm not sure what else we could use. I guess fiber. It's not all that realistic as to what you'd have initially, but we're going to go along with it. So basically, solar panels, they generate EU as opposed to MJ. And we need MJ in order to power this thing. So that's what these electrical engines are for. These will transfer 6 EU per tick into 2 MJ per tick. So not a great conversion rate, but it is a conversion rate of sorts, and they're pretty cheap to make, the electric engines. Get out of that. So we're going to place our low voltage solar arrays, and remember to keep it within our chunk boundaries so they do stay loaded. Let's go ahead and place, let's just do a small cluster of them right there. Alrighty. And then we're going to place our engines. And the thing I don't like about engines is when you place them, by default they place sideways. And the only way to get them to face straight up, the way I like it, because they connect nicely, is to put that up first. So I always have to do that. Still weird little anal retentive thing that I have to do all of the time. Oh shoot. Where did that go? WTF, bro? Place. Thank you. Alright, boom. There we are. So, we have our wooden piping, and then we have to use our conductive stone piping to carry the power from each engine into our quarry. Boom. So we have 4 engines, so that's a total of 8 MJ per tick. The quarry can actually process up to 100 MJ per tick, so that's pretty crazy. Let's see here. Let's get these hooked up with our cable. Alright, I don't know if that's going to create kind of a feedback loop or not, so I'll do that just in case. I guess I could always be smarter about it and lay this out in a more organized manner. So like that. And let's have 1, 2, 3. There we go. That makes way more sense. Okay. And all you have to do is flip the switch, get the engines pumping. Pump. And let's get rid of that grid work. So you'll see initially it'll spawn this robot guy. And he is building the framework. And that is the very first step it goes through. Now bear in mind this is 3 LV solar arrays, so it's a total of 24 solar panels functioning in the space of 3 blocks. All running through glass fiber cable, so very low power loss. 4 engines, so that's hitting, let's see if these are actually storing any. No, it is outputting all of the MJ that it is taking in. So more engines is not the answer. It would then be more solar panels at this point. So we got those running, everything, and it'll start mining it now. Now, goodness gracious, it's going to move all over into the corner, and it'll start breaking blocks. Wow, zers, that's fast. Now you'll see it's spitting shit out, and you're thinking, okay, so what do I do to fix that? Let us get a wooden, or no, I guess it would be pipe, wood pipe, not waterproof, just wooden transport pipe. Thank you. So, normal wooden transport pipes need to be powered by a redstone engine or some sort of a item in order to output, but from a quarry, it does not require it. So we're gonna get a diamond chest. Diamond chest, and we're gonna throw it right there, and it's gonna start taking everything. Yeah, so this functioning very, very quickly. Typically you'll probably have like the equivalent of 1 LV solar array running at the beginning. I just wanted to get it moving nice and quick for you as a better demonstration. So let's get rid of all this stuff. We don't need it anymore. Alrighty. So perfectly functioning quarry. It's storing items. You can have it piped wherever. I'll probably do a tutorial on piping. But if you guys are curious about what kind of wire you should use, because this takes diamond to make, so if you don't quite have that, I did make a tutorial on wires that I'll be linking either in the description or putting it at the end during my outro. I'll probably do that. You can see this is moving at a pretty good clip. The benefits of doing it underground is you won't get that initial layer of cobble and grass, and there's very low ore densities higher up. And then let's, like I said earlier, I'm going to show you guys a good way to stop lava from hindering the process. Just take a water bucket and place and place. And that ought to cover most everything. You might not even need all 4 of the corners covered. You might only need 1 corner, and then just it'll spill down over time. I believe that's true, but this way we're just being safe. So let's see here. We're gonna have that. I'm going to go ahead and see nighttime is approaching, so it's going to stop powering. Something you can do that will rectify that situation is to put like an MFE or an MFSU and feed the power into that and have it output. So during the day, it'll store any excess power and then use that up during the nighttime. But, let me think here. Ooh, yeah, it's getting a little glitchy with that bar. Interesting. Yeah, there are obviously some bugs, but time set day, and you can see it stopped because it became daytime. So let's test something real quick. Grab an LV solar array, maybe not. There we go. Grab 1 more of those. I'm going to delete that. Alright, let's do some more glass fiber. Get out of my way. We'll put 1 there. And then this one we're actually going to put in MFE, because that will store quite a bit of power. Now let's get rid of that. Place it so it's outputting. Beautiful. Yes, you see these engines are actually sucking all of the power out of it. So let's see what it takes to make that not the case. 1 more LV solar array and power starts to very slowly build up inside the MFE. And you can see the MFE can store 600,000, whereas a regular bat box can only store 40,000. So that's why I chose that one, just so it can run the full nighttime cycle. So I'm going to go ahead and cut to a time lapse of this thing doing what it does best, and I will see you guys back when it has hit bedrock. So, see you in a second. Hey everybody, so as you can see I did beef up the power situation a bit, as hopefully you were able to see during the time lapse. Oh shoot, all this stuff's gonna kablode, gonna go kapows. Boom. Okay, there, and that should be draining. Yes, okay, awesome. So let's go ahead and get all the unwanted crap out of here. Alright. Cool. So the quarry finished. I beefed up the power so that the time lapse wouldn't take too long. As you can see, it has gone all the way down to bedrock, and what it does when it hits bedrock layer is it'll take every block it possibly can from vertical. So you can see, once you're done mining a quarry, or once a quarry is done, then you have quite a bit of a process you can go through. You know, slap on a jetpack, run around and gravel the ore from the sides. So what it gives you in the chest is not necessarily all, and there is typically 1 or 2 tunnel breakthroughs. I was kind of disappointed in these. Typically there's more, but that can lead you into more mining possibilities and get you more ore. Also possibly more adventure, because you never know if you'll find a monster spawner or something down there. So this is what we got from it. Got about a stack of iron, some gold, tin, copper, silver, pretty much a little bit of everything. Even got a little bit of diamond back. The only downside to using a quarry is that it won't fortune items. It'll strictly give you the standard back from the items. So things like diamond and all that will only give you 1, so you can't ever fortune it, and it won't silk touch anything or anything like that. But when it's done, once it's done mining, got the last block, it'll get itself over into a corner, and it'll slowly draw itself back up, and then it's finished. That's pretty much it, honestly. That's basically how a quarry works. And then when you are done with it and you want to tear it down, just break the quarry block, and you'll see all of the frame starts to decay in a manner similar to leaves. Leaves that are too far away from a trunk to stay there. It'll decay in a manner similar to that, and get out of your way. So if you want to see an example of an underground one, you can check out the very first Silver Sword episode that I recorded with Taters on our server. We had one going in our tunnel there, so you can check that out if you wanted to see an example of that. But yeah, I believe that's all I wanted to cover. Hopefully I was able to, address most of the setup issues and questions you guys had about the processes of everything. It obviously would not go that fast for you unless you did have that many LV solar arrays. A way to increase the power to it, because glass fiber cable has a 512 EU per tick limit, and these are taking in 6. So I mean, you could potentially power way too many electrical engines. It's just simply a matter of adding engines to it, because it eventually reached a point where even though I added all of these and I added all the extra engines, it was still gaining power in the MFE, so I could have added more engines. Also using gold conductive piping can help with the power transfer to the quarry. Remember, like I said, it can accept up to 100 MJ per tick at a time. So that was moving at roughly 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 MJ per tick, maybe a little more, just depending, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I do believe there's a maximum speed even when you're supplying it with I believe you can hit the maximum quarry speed before you hit 100 MJ per tick, so it's not necessary to go all the way up there. Plus, I mean, it's plenty fast on its own. But as you can see, we got a decent amount back, like an okay bang for our buck, but when you consider all the power that went into it, even if it was just a couple of LV solar arrays and this had been going for about a week or so, or a few in-game days, or I guess a few real-life days, it's still not that huge of a payoff, even when you consider all this extra stuff you're mining. So bigger is better. I mean, it allows you to go up to 64 wide, including the frame, so 62 by 62 of the actual quarry itself. It allows you to get that big. Honestly, I did a small 10 by 10. I wouldn't do anything lower than like a 15 by 20, 20 by 20, somewhere in that range, because that extends the ability or the chance that you'll run into cave systems, come into bigger swaths of ore and different things like that. So that's just my personal preference, and there are all sorts of ways to power it. Like I said, anything with MJ. I'm just using these electrical engines because I like to use solar panels. They're my digs. But yeah, hopefully this helped. I'm not sure what my next tutorial will be, but if you guys didn't watch my first one on the various industrial craft wires and the different carry capacities and pluses and minuses of both, I will have it in the outro, so why don't you click on it. See you there. Hey everybody, hopefully that tutorial helped you out in crafting all of your quarries and setting your stuff up. But I do have other videos. Top of the screen, I've got that Feed the Beast tutorial, the very first episode I recorded. That's on industrial craft wires. So you got your low current cable, HV cable, glass fiber, all that good stuff. Then bottom half of the screen, I've got my Silver Sword series that I do with my buddy Ambient Potato. It's a Feed the Beast server. And in there, that very first episode, I do have an underground quarry if you guys want to check it out. But wait, before you head off, click my face and subscribe.